Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. To say that today was a little bonkers is quite an understatement. We're going to see how much I made today selling options, and today alone blows my mind. There's a good reason for it though, and we're going to talk about something that I've been fighting myself with recently, and I'm curious if you guys can help me out and what you do in my situation. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any videos in the future. And if you're watching this and you're considering selling options on your own someday, I have a course for beginners. It's linked down below. It helps out the channel. I made it pretty affordable. You can go check that out if you're interested. It's much appreciated. But if we hop over to Robinhood, we'll see the portfolio is up pretty significantly. That's because two of our positions are up a huge amount. One is SoFi, up 8.5% right now after hours, and then Robinhood is up 17% after hours. However, on the flip side, come tomorrow when the market opens, my portfolio is not going to be at this amount because I've sold covered calls on these stocks, and that's going to withhold some of these gains, as we know, because the covered call that you sell caps your gains, but in return, you make income. And that's the trade-off you make when you sell options. Now, you can do a combination of both, right? You can get capital appreciation depending on your strike price and still make income and get the best of both worlds, which is what I tried to do. And before we get to that dilemma, which this is foreshadowing, let's hop over to my web app, and I'm going to upload my Robinhood statement from today just to show you how much I made selling options today. So I uploaded my statement. If we go down below, we'll see the net premium. This is the part we really care about because that means how much I actually profited in premium, how much hit my account, and I can do whatever I want with it. I could buy more shares of my favorite stocks at all-time highs if I wanted to, or I could just let it sit in my account and wait for a dip if one is to occur. But how much I made today, and this is by far the most day of all time, is $788 in premium. You can see broken down by ticker, SoFi is the big reason for this number. And the reason is I ended up rolling a lot of my SoFi options today that were in the money. And so that brings me to my dilemma. When is it a good time to let the call just expire and get assigned those shares to someone else? So for instance, I have sold covered calls that are currently in the money on stocks like SoFi or Robinhood. An example of one right here is one that expires next Friday. And assuming Robinhood stays at the levels it's at right now, this one's at $78, which is pretty far from the current price of Robinhood. And so I asked the question, do I want to roll this and try to keep the shares and let this play out over time, or do I want to just let it go? End up selling those shares. I will still profit because I bought the shares far less than $78 a share and wait for an opportunity to put that money somewhere else. And I think that's the hard part I'm having when it comes to letting these shares go, because I'm okay with letting the shares go if there's another opportunity that I'd rather just put the money in. But the market is up across the board on everything. So it's pretty hard for me to say, yeah, I'd like to take it out of Robinhood and put it in this other stock when that other stock is up tremendously too. I don't really see a stock that I like or one that I'm at least aware of that's down right now or at a good value compared to Robinhood here that I would say, okay, let's put the money into maybe selling a put on that instead. So I think that's what makes it hard. If I don't see an opportunity, I don't know if I can convince myself to just let the shares go. However, who's to say that Robinhood isn't going to drop or the market isn't going to drop at some point in the near future? And then if I do let these go and I have the money aside for that kind of occurrence, then I can deploy that money and sell puts on my favorite companies again. So that's currently the dilemma I have. I am not the perfect trader. You probably already know that. I don't want to portray myself as such. And this is a current issue that I have that I keep going back and forth in my mind. What do I actually want to do? Because if I go to roll this, I'm not going to get really good premium unless I go super, super, super far out. And then in terms of reward, I don't know if I can justify that it's worth it. So here we can, roll this one call option I sold all the way out to October, 109 days. And sure, we can go to like $85 strike price and I'll make $315. But is that worth adding 98 days and tying up those shares for that long where I could sell them, get the money, and potentially put that money somewhere else? I don't know. I'm still asking myself that question and trying to answer it. So yeah, if you were looking for clarity on this video, I'm sorry, you're not going to find it. I will keep, asking myself this question, and if I come to an agreement with how I want to do these things going forward, I will totally let you guys know. But let me know your thoughts, what you would do in my situation. I love hearing from you guys. If you want to check out my web app and see how much you're making selling options in the blink of an eye, you don't have to calculate anything on your own, go check it out. It really means a lot to me, all of you that have used it so far. It's really cool to see how many uploads have occurred since I launched this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you in a future video.